In this movie, I'll show you how to use the lesser known but actually very exciting perspective crop tool, which allows you to correct an image element that's captured in perspective. So in my case, what I want to do is extract this painting from its frame so that we're viewing it straight on. The first step is to go ahead and click and hold on the crop tool to bring up this flyout menu, and then choose the second option, perspective crop tool. Now, the thing you need to know about this tool is that it always applies destructive modifications. In other words, there's no delete pixels checkbox that you can turn off up here in the options bar. So with that in mind, what you do is you go ahead and drag inside the image in order to establish an initial rectangular crop boundary, and then you drag each of the corners like so into the desired locations. Now what I'm going to do is set things up pretty generally at first, and then I'm going to zoom in on the image so I can make sure I'm doing a good job, because after all, this frame has a few filigree details that I'd like to avoid. So I'm going to drag this corner handle up a little bit, and notice that we also have a shadow that's being cast along the top of the painting, which I also want to crop out of this image. All right, so I'm going to drag this guy over and to the right a little bit to avoid this left-hand shadow. And then I'll go ahead and toss the image upward like so. I want to drag this guy in a little bit just to make sure we're as far in from the bottom as we were from the top. We can get very close to the bottom, it turns out, down here around this wonderful skull. And I'll go ahead and drag this guy down and in a little bit. And I might as well modify this guy. Knowing that I had to drag the bottom right corner handle in, I might as well drag the top right corner handle in as well. And you don't have to drag the handles. Once again, you can just drag the edges if you want to, but I'm trying to be as careful as possible. And now I'll press Control-0 or Command-0 on the Mac to zoom out. And then, in order to apply my change, I can either click on the check mark once again, or I can just go ahead and press the Enter key here on the PC or the Return key on the Mac, and I end up extracting the painting out of its frame like so. All right, I'll go ahead and press Shift-F just so that we can fill the screen with the image. And that, my friends, is how you use the Perspective Crop tool in order to correct an image element that's captured in perspective here inside Photoshop.